We are live. Welcome, everybody, to another Wednesday AMA. How is everybody? I got Marku here, and Rob will be joining us shortly. How you doing today, Marku?
Doing excellent. And Aaron's off doing dev things, so we're hoping to possibly get an appearance, but he's very busy doing a few dev things, and we've got Rob just joining now as well.
Fantastic.
There we go.
Guys. Hey, Rob. How you doing today?
I'm all right. Yeah, it's been a busy one. All good. Yeah. What about you guys?
I'm doing fantastic.
Cannot complain. We're very excited about all the things coming here on PegHub.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So we've got this recorded as well. So I think we're good to just start diving into it. And I think today we wanted to focus a bit on our roadmap. And I know everybody's kind of seen some of the roadmap and some of the items and goals we've got on there. But what's really going to be cool is Rob's going to take us very briefly, because it's quite an intense document, but he's going to kind of guide us through the strategy that went behind the roadmap and how we're actually going to deliver on all of these. So that's going to be the focus on today's AMA. And then, of course, any questions that anybody's got, we would love to answer them.
Fantastic.
Yeah, sounds good. And apologies, I hadn't actually realised when I came in that we were already live. So great to be here with you guys. But yeah, so looking forward to stepping you through the roadmap, because I know we've talked about it sort of verbally, but I think, actually seeing it in glorious Technicolor on the PegHub site will just help really bring it to life. And the strategy document, I mean, clearly I'm a bit biased, but genuinely I do think it's, one of, if not the most comprehensive strategy in DeFi. To be honest, I don't actually know that I've ever seen a protocol publish, a really comprehensive strategy document. So, this is going to be great. One, to help you guys as our investors, have real clarity around what you should expect from us in the future, and the thinking as to how we've arrived at what our roadmap looks like. But it's also going to be super helpful as we're sort of beginning really ramping up our marketing efforts, so that we can show prospective investors in some of those new segments we've talked about what we're all about too. It'll almost act as a bit of an investor prospectus document. So I'm going to attempt to screen share. This is going to be my first time doing it on StreamYard, so let's hope it goes well.
And then, Rob, while you're doing that, I just want to reiterate, a point you just made about being the most comprehensive. You look at other protocols in DeFi, especially in DeFi, and you'll see the roadmaps, and it's basically just like when moon. That's their end game. Like, okay, we've got we're going to launch this, we're going to pump it, it's going to be in the moon, and that's pretty much everybody's roadmap. Like, yeah, okay, but how are you going to do that? And that's what we're really excited about. We've got a very comprehensive strategy that Rob's going to go through and explain step by step. Like, here's, next quarter, these are the things we're going to achieve. Next year, these are the things we're going to achieve. Here's some of the opportunities, threats. You're going to see it's going to be, it's a very exciting roadmap and strategy deck.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's a really good point. Many protocols are just let's come up with some stuff that sounds exciting, but don't really have anything behind how they're going to achieve that. Right, is that screen share come through okay for you guys?
Yep, we can see it.
Nice. Okay, there we go. And there we go. Fully doxed myself. I don't think my surname's been up before, but if you guys want to creep me on LinkedIn or anything, you're more than welcome to. We should probably get that added to the website. Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to find this if you go to peghub.com/roadmap. And, here, I just want to emphasize, we have talked about it a little bit, but, we are now firming up that our mission is to become the safest and largest safest and largest staking protocol in the world by 2025. So we know that's a huge goal, but genuinely, with the team we've plans we have in place as well, we're really confident that is actually achievable. So I'll just click into the strategy document here first of all, I think, before coming back to the roadmap. So, if you just, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this a wee bit smaller. So, you'll see just from the table of contents, this is pretty robust. So we kind of give a bit of an overview of our market positioning and development. So, i.e., how is it that we're actually going to expand our investor base? We'll delve into marketing communications. So, as it says, how do we really build brand awareness and loyalty amongst our investors? I'll not go through everything here, but revenue generations, ecosystem sustainability. I think anything you'd want to know about us as a protocol and our plans, you're going to find in this. Just going down a little further, there's the kind of exec summary of what if you just want the headlines, what's in the strategy. But the bit that I guess I just want to draw everyone's attention to is our strategic objectives there. So providing innovative solutions to create wealth for our investors, providing a simple user experience and removing barriers to entry for new investors, and instilling trust in our investors through having robust protocol security, and ultimately being seen as leading experts in DeFi. So everything that we do and will do in some way links to these strategic objectives. So I think these just kind of distill things down quite nicely. If I then kind of step into the bulk of the document, I'll maybe talk a little bit about our market positioning and development. In fact, before I do that, I'll maybe just take a bit of a step back as to how we shaped the strategy. So we used a kind of globally renowned framework called SoftStack, where basically you sort of perform a really comprehensive situation analysis. So you delve into, as a protocol, what are your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, which then helps you identify potential opportunity areas that you want to focus on. As part of that, we considered, what some of you guys will be familiar with as a PESTRA analysis. So what are the political, economic, social, technical, environmental and regulatory factors that are at play that we need to be cognizant of as we shape but also execute our strategy. So all of that, as I say, comes into situation analysis. We also, look at competitors, what we can draw from them, and all of that comes together to kind of give us that situation analysis. We then delve into, okay, well, what are objectives, which is what I've just stepped you through, and then chunk that down into the strategy, actions, tactics, and then our control, i.e. the metrics that we have around our execution as well. And I'll talk about those shortly, but let's just say we've got some pretty exciting goals that we've set as part of those metrics. A $10,000 PegHub price being one of them, 1 billion total. 1 billion in treasury holdings, and also 10 billion in terms of TVL. So some big goals, but that's what's needed to get us being the number one crypto staking platform globally. So in terms of sort of market positioning and development, because this has been coming up quite a bit in our chats, with people kind of going, well, we're under Peg in our senior edge protocols. Is it the right time to be expanding on to new chains? And I think it's absolutely a valid question. But the key thing for us is that we need to focus on bringing new investors into our protocols. Expanding into new chains is a key way of doing that, but also breaking into new segments, as we talked about, is critical to that as well. So expanding into the TradFi space, the sort of centralized exchange space as well. So really appealing to investors that don't have currently the knowledge, the confidence, or maybe even just the motivation to get into DeFi because they don't know enough about it. So that's going to be a really big focus, and we've got a huge amount planned in terms of marketing. And now feels like a good time for me to stop rabbiting on for a little bit. And Marcus, do you maybe want to just expand on anything that I've sort of touched on there in breaking into those new segments?
No, I think you did a great job highlighting our marketing goals. And I like, basically, I'm just repeating what I say all the time. We are going to be hitting these TradFi folks, and that's going to be my main role here, is using less of a crypto-centric marketing plan that most people are used to, where it's, just shilling on crypto sites and telegrams and all that, and really getting into those traditional media things with more articles and sponsored content that we can showcase what we're doing in DeFi to a more traditionally non-crypto savvy demographic. So those are the folks that are really going to help expand this protocol. And again, the main thing that is going to allow us to target those folks is the simplicity that we're going to be going to offer on our website and our app. And I think we'll talk a little bit later about some of the app improvements already taking place. You'll see by the end of this week, and some that we've got planned. Like by the end of this month, it's going to be a completely different and significantly easier user experience to get into the PegHub vaults. And that's what everybody's waiting for before we can really get that marketing push. And you'll see once we've got that, this roadmap and strategy deck's just going to all start snowballing.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think you're spot on, and the improvements to the current PegHub app, it's not even something we've called it as one of the main items on the roadmap. But there's just going to be a series of incremental improvements that will make to simplify the experience and eliminate as many clicks as possible for new investors to jump into our farms. And the wireframe is looking incredible for that. So all being well, it should be the case that probably today our lead dev will be getting cracking in that, and also integrating the new zapping functionality as well. That will expand the tokens that you can zap in to our farms with. So that's pretty exciting too. But look, I'm kind of just randomly clicking through now so you can get a bit of a sense of what's in here. I could talk about it all day, but I won't. I will just highlight that we've got in here our key execution and operational risks, because to the point we were making at the beginning about a lot of DeFi projects just having this sort of pie in the sky plan, they certainly don't go as far as considering, well, what are the biggest things that could trip us up, and making sure that they have appropriate measures in place to monitor and mitigate those. So you can check out some of our thinking about that as well in this document, and then our very exciting objectives and key results that we're targeting as well over the course of the next 2 or so years. So I'll just jump back to the roadmap. And you can see here we've got the many successes that there have been, for our protocols in the past. I'm sure many of you are familiar with those. In terms of what's coming up, well, we're going to be launching on Avalanche very, very soon. So we're really beginning to progress that now, following the outcome of the vote of our PegHub holders. So yeah, super excited to be expanding on to Avalanche. We know there's a big DeFi space there. and we'll be figuring out the tokens that we'll be launching with as well. Obviously, Avax itself will be one of them, but there's way more to come in terms of news to share in the coming days.
And just on the Avax launch, we're also targeting some Avax specific marketing as well. So once we have a firm launch date, we're already in talks with some like top Avalanche influencers and some communities, like Avax specific communities. So we're going to be, like a big bang on the Avax blockchain as a new protocol, because they don't have many, barely any things that are even comparable to PegHub. So something like this launching on the chain is going to drive up a bunch of excitement. So we're really excited to bring that to the Avax community.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's a really good point. I mean, I've invested in the past in a number of Avalanche protocols, and a lot of them have been pretty decent, but they tend to be quite lacking in the UI space. So I think PegHub will bring something new and exciting in that space, and then you throw on top obviously the incredible APRs and all of the stuff we're going to be doing in marketing. I think it's going to be an exciting time. So then, our roadmap's pretty aggressive. So we plan to expand on to 4 chains in total throughout the remainder of this year. Each one of those will have a governance vote for our PHub holders to determine the order that we expand on to those chains. As we move to next year, it'll be the case that we will launch a decentralized lending and yield farming platform, which is obviously geared towards advanced users who are comfortable participating in more advanced yield farming strategies and naturally taking on some more risk. And then our really big goal as we kind of progress into next year around Q3 is to launch a fully decentralized blue chip single staking platform where holdings will be completely verifiable, giving our investors that real comfort, that their funds are safe. And Aaron's talked about the fact this is our opportunity, to sort of be, the Celsius of DeFi, but obviously making sure that we do things right, because Celsius had many great things going for it, but clearly, in the way they were managing things was not something that we would ever repeat. But there are a number of positives to draw from that, and ultimately this is going to be the biggest enabler to help us tap into those new segments that we've talked about, just through providing an incredibly simple solution. So that's a bit of a whistle stop tour. Marcus, sorry, Diamond, anything that you guys want to add?
Hard to add something to what you just said. You went over pretty much the whole plan. Personally, I'm very excited about the final goal, having kind of a nice hybrid between centralized and decentralized. Not only will simplify a lot of things for a lot of people, but also, like you were saying, having that security of everything being verifiable on chain, so people will be able to see where their funds are, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, it's exactly that. I was just going to add, like I've shown current PegHub to a few friends, and like they're very excited about the potential of it, but they get there and as simple as it is, and I think it already is one of the simplest DeFi protocols, they're still like, I don't understand what to do, right? And that's what we're addressing. So I want to get to the point where I can be like, hey, mom, who can barely open the internet, why don't you throw some funds into PegHub and start investing in crypto? And she could actually be able to go there and figure it out. And that, like, when we can accomplish that, then we know we were ready to go after anybody.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely spot on. Yeah, so much coming up that we're all really excited about. And I think, sorry, I've just realized actually I missed one of the key elements of the roadmap, which is we'll be launching our second collection of NFTs. So that was initially going to be in Q4, but over the course of the last few days, we thought, you know what, we're actually going to accelerate that because, you know, there's a whole lot of hype around the OG collection, and people are often asking when's the next collection coming. So, you know, the design of those looks awesome. We're figuring out, you know, the specifics of the features and the exact timeline, but yeah, they really do look incredible. Cool.
That they do.
So I don't know if we've got any questions that folk want to ask.
We actually just got one.
Excellent.
Well, we got a lot of support as well, not minimizing that, but questions per se. Should put up a video on PegHub from start to finish, putting money into LP. Well, I definitely agree with that. Not only is it being worked on, we still have to finalize. There are a lot of changes that we're going to bring in a short period of time. So those changes have to be there so we can make the video. But definitely, the videos will be included to simplify the process for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we want to focus as far as we possibly can on making the experience so simple that we minimize the amount of educational materials that are needed. But having said that, education definitely has its place. So yeah, we should have some videos coming very soon. So watch this space.
Yeah, and just on that, like part of the exciting, you know, one of the big features of PegHub is that, like, the word LP even confuses people. You know, like, we don't even need to know what an LP is in order to get invested into the farms. So that's part of the big thing that we're working on, is that, you know, people just are able to zap in, they get BNB or even with their fiat on ramp and go directly into the farms. They don't need to know what an LP is. They don't need to know what boardrooms or PEG are. That's it's all just going to be simplified.
Agreed.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Another question here. No mention of BUSM on the roadmap. While we did analyze it, we, like Rob was saying, we did a very deep analysis of everything we're doing, everything we want to do, the competition, the risks, everything, and BUSM is on there. It wasn't one of the top priorities. Rest assured, it is on there, and we do have plans to be able to offer stable coins to different PEG tokens. So we definitely do want to maximize that. But there's a lot going on, and a lot of different priorities as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We, you know, the big thing I would say is we're still building the team out, and at the point that we have, you know, the right resource in place, we'll make sure that there's a focus on BUSM. But it's not quite the top priority at the moment with so much else going on. We'll watch this space.
Another questions here. I'd say the hardest part is making MetaMask and getting funds on there. I agree. Sometimes some of the simplest parts, not the simplest parts, but I mean the basics sometimes are confusing to people that haven't used DeFi before. So there are different ways. There are different wallets as well. Some of them are more easy, and we may choose to push one of the easier versions onto users. Obviously, there will be multiple options for wallets, but essentially we are looking at how to simplify everything to its maximum. Like Marco was saying, you know, or we need to find a way to to have your mom and anyone just log in and use it and deposit funds into our farms.
Yeah, and just on that, on the how hard it is getting funds into, like making a MetaMask wallet, getting funds on there, that definitely is the trickiest part for somebody that's not used to crypto or doesn't understand even what MetaMask is. So we are going to be having, I think by the end of this week, step-by-step instructions on like set up a MetaMask wallet, get funds on, connect it to the site before you even get on to PegHub app. So that expect that update probably by the end of this week.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. It's definitely a barrier to entry. So there'll be some good stuff coming to help people with that stage.
Mm-hmm. Another question here. Sorry, but it's really hard to find another project in DeFi with such high taxes. Buys on your tokens nowadays are depressing.
Sure. Yeah. So I think the first thing just to bear in mind is that entering and exiting our farms on PegHub.com, the taxes don't apply. So the taxes are in place to prevent abuse of the system, and it tends to be the senior ash protocols where we see more of that, and greater volumes of activity that adversely impacts the protocol's health. So it's something that we'll certainly keep on reviewing. But for users who are just looking for a simple experience, who are typically putting their funds in and leaving them for the long term to accumulate and take advantage of the magic of compounding, those buys on tokens. I mean, there's no long-term, there's no short-term here and now fix, but I think everything that we've got coming up in terms of the roadmap, our really robust marketing plan, that's going to be key to bringing in new investors to help with those buys.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's important to remember that one of the best things for all of our protocols is simply to put some money in the farms and in the vaults. The vaults especially will help put some good buy pressure. And on the PegHub.com app, there are no taxes. You can enter next to the vaults. People should have a long-term perspective in these. So place your funds in the vaults. This is an amazing time to be accumulating while the market is still low, and then just wait for the bull market.
Yeah.
Great opportunities.
Yeah, and I spotted a comment in Discord earlier with someone saying the market's pumping, but the peg tokens aren't. I mean, yes, there'll be some DeFi tokens that are pumping, but interest in DeFi as a whole is still significantly lower than it was just back in April. So it's going to take some time to build up that hype again, but I know I'm repeating myself, but with everything we have planned, I don't think it'll take long to get some momentum there.
Absolutely. Okay, another follow-up regarding BUSM, I think. I hope so. It's currently 8 cents, down 70% from initial investment, farming a stablecoin. Yep, definitely agree. One big thing that's needed is more liquidity. So we do have, we will be getting to it. And as Rob was saying, as we build the team, if and more so when we find somebody that can properly take care of this, we will be able to move up certain items in our roadmap to a much shorter time frame. So
yeah, and which reminds me, I need to get the job posting live for that, and that'll go up shortly. But if you're interested, drop a note over to jobs@peghub.com, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah. follow up to, I believe, the simplicity of the protocol. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, because after that, it's just a zap. So I think we're talking about after having your MetaMask wallet set up, and if you, once you're able to put some funds in there, yeah, absolutely, it's just a simple zap, pretty much one button and one confirm, and you're good to go. You're already earning high yield on your blue chip cryptos.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, if any of you guys have more questions, do drop them in. If you've got any thoughts around the strategy, the roadmap, the expansion onto Avalanche, would love to hear your thoughts along with any questions that you might have.
Yeah, and for anybody watching a recording, just feel free to stop by Telegram, Discord. We just love hearing from the community, and we'll always answer your questions there.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. We'll just give it maybe another minute or so, see if any other questions or thoughts roll in.
Yep.
I don't know, though, Marku, Diamond, whether you guys had anything else that you were keen to cover off.
Not here. I kind of was going to go over some AVAX stuff, but we kind of did that organically, so all good.
Excellent.
We got another question
here.
here.
One more.
Yeah. Any news on the BTC single stake migration? From what I was told, most of the heavy lifting has been completed for the migration. We're waiting on the dev team to set up the website. There's still a lot to. I guess it's properly representing the new values from the database side and on the website side. So basically, everything is happening. We're taking care of everything. Everything is going to happen automatically for you guys. Just hold. Eventually, you will see your value bump up once the migration has been completed. Good job on the roadmap, guys. Looks awesome. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Let's go. Any news on the CZ bomb migration? I don't have any news on this. Do you guys have any info on this? When it's going to be switching over to BitBTC, I'm guessing is the question.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we've firmed up any specific timelines for that. So one for us to talk through at our next team session. We should be able to share more on that soon.
Question I think was asked last week during the AMA, and Aaron answered next couple weeks. So it might not be that long.
Yeah, well, yeah, something we should just make sure we've got a good answer for.
Oh, another question. So everything is moving to Avax.
So no, it's not the case that everything's moving to Avax. So you will still be able to use BSC, but this is the first of us expanding to new chains, which will allow us to, one, provide our existing investors with opportunities to farm coins from the Avalanche network, but also it'll be the case that it gives us the opportunity to bring in new investors, because while many of us are really comfortable navigating different chains, there are some people that have got their preference and tend to stay fairly well put there. So yeah, lots of opportunity over on Avalanche.
Absolutely. Just to clarify, because I know this question has come up a couple times in the communities, PegHub will not be actually moving to another blockchain. PegHub will be staying on the Binance Smart Chain. There always and only will ever be 10,000 PegHub. So that's always going to remain true. Basically, there's two things that are going to happen with future migrations. One is we're going to be opening up similar protocols to CZ Pegs and BitBomb on different blockchains. This will allow a couple, 4 different PEG tokens. Will open up a whole new market on those different blockchains. We will be, like Marku was saying at the beginning, we will be doing a lot of advertising on, in this case, Avalanche specific communities. So that will be targeting them, and that'll allow us to get a lot more investors into that protocol. But even more importantly is the PegHub app. People will still be able to invest in those farms directly from the PegHub app, which I think is very interesting, because we will, kind of like how Beefy does it, how you can actually invest in different coins from different blockchains. So directly from the PegHub app, you will have access to the vaults from the different blockchains, and we will have swappers set up, and we'll have ways to send your funds to the different blockchains, or simply buy in funds directly onto a different blockchain. So yeah.
And just on that, like, I know a lot of people ask, like, what's the point of moving to another chain? Like, is it just diluting? But most of the time people stick to one chain. So I know, like, a lot of people here probably have most of their stuff on BSC, right? And kind of stick to that. But if you're targeting some people on Avalanche that generally don't know about BSC or even use it, well, now they come to the PegHub site and looking to stake Avax and some other coins that we haven't determined yet, right? But then they can also see, oh, wait a minute, I can stake Bitcoin, I can get into all these other farms with BNB, for example, right? So that's the point of moving on to different chains as well. You're just getting new eyes, and you're introducing them to things that they've not seen before, and potentially getting them involved on a whole chain that they're not used to. So it just keeps expanding our target. And of course, as that happens, it's expanding the amount of buybacks happening on the PHub token. So there's just so many good things that continue to happen as you move on to additional chains.
Absolutely. Another great question here. Is there a new name for the new protocol launching on Avax? I haven't heard any. That's a very interesting question, and something we can have fun with. Do you guys have any ideas?
I'm terrible at being put on the spot with things like this. No, Mark, I'd love to know if you do though. But if anyone's got ideas, drop them in, because
absolutely,
that'd be awesome.
We have not thought of a name yet, but that's definitely going to be something fun. So anybody in the community, if you have like a fun name you'd love to see the protocol name, then feel free to drop it in. But that's going to be part of something we're gonna be working on during the next week or so as we come to launch. We're gonna have to come up with name and some branding for it.
Yep. Well, I did have a 30-second advance on you, Rob, because I was reading the questions, getting ready, and I was just thinking snow pegs. That could be a cute, play on the Avalanche. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's one to put in the hat for sure.
Option 1.
Yeah,
there we go.
But definitely, if anyone has any other ideas, drop them in the chats, drop them in the Discord, the Telegram, whatever. Let's talk about it. We also have forum.peghub.com where we're actually discussing the different coins we can have on there. Great resource to have centralized information. So, that kind of information, it'll be much easier to find than if you're looking through the Discords. And Telegram, looking for, what coins are we going to launch on? Well, here the forum is much more organized. So that's thank you for posting it. So that's interesting. You can drop an idea for the new name in there.
Yeah, maybe we'll set up a topic for that.
Yep, be a good idea.
Name for Avax protocol, some suggestions.
Another good question. Will expanding to Avax help BitBomb Peg? Well, personally, I think it will, and it's all about expanding our to our target demographic. We're going to be expanding and showing our protocol PegHub to a lot more people, and just because people are on Avax doesn't mean they're not they can't be Bitcoin maxis. I'm not personally on Avalanche that much, so I'm not sure, but I'm pretty certain there must be a Bitcoin alternative, a wrapped Bitcoin on there, like there are on many chains. So anybody that is on Avalanche but and finds this protocol could still be very interested in Bitcoin and could decide to get into BitBomb. BTC into that farm. So definitely more eyes on BitBomb, on PegHub. Sorry, will definitely be helping all the pegs.
Absolutely, yeah. Everything that we're doing, along with continuing to provide great value for current investors, but is about helping get new eyes onto our protocols, expanding into new markets, which helps bring in additional focus to everything we've got going on, which brings in new money, which helps Peg.
Absolutely.
Cool. Any other questions at all? If not, we can maybe wrap up. Give it another 30 seconds or so.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for the questions. That was very very good. Appreciate community engagement.
Yeah,
for sure. Cool. Well, I don't think there's anything else coming in, but a big thank you to you guys. If anyone's got any questions when they're listening to the playback, just jump into Discord or Telegram. But yeah, thanks again, guys, and have a great day.
Ciao,
thanks,
everybody.
guys. We'll chat later.